Welcome back to the Homies Tribune. It's me, Mike Gam, as your host with the most. You dig what I'm saying? And listen, you know it wouldn't be right if I didn't have the infamous red cup. And of course, I'm talking to the homies. And today we got a special guest. Let's bring him in here, man. Let's bring him in here, man. Let's see what's going on. Let's just bring this guest in here today, man. Let's talk some sports. Let's talk a little bit of sports. So, my guest that's coming in, he's a coach, ex-player himself, I'm gonna let him introduce himself, man. What's up with it?
What's good? What's good? Am I here? Am I on? Am I on? It's my first time doing something like this.
You on, baby?
Okay, cool. What's
Can you
good,
hear me?
everybody? Yeah, loud and clear, man.
Okay,
You the hostess with the
yeah.
mostest, man.
Yeah. What's up with it?
That's good with cuz, man. Nothing much. Thank you for this opportunity, for sure, man. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Oh man, I appreciate you for taking the time out, bro. Can you tell the people your name and tell them the name of your podcast as well, cuz?
My name is Dana Wood, the host of the Bringing the Wood podcast, co-host, Big Chase Sears, man. Shout out to the co-host. The Bringing the Wood podcast is on all platforms, anywhere you can get podcasts at. You can follow me on social media. My Facebook is Dana Real Wood. Instagram is bringing_the_wood podcast. And my Twitter is Camper Clouds, or you can type in Bringing the Wood podcast as well and get me on Twitter or the X. I'm
Okay.
working on the social media. I'm working on the social media stuff now, so I'm still new to that.
Listen, I love what you got going. What made you come up with the podcast, cuz?
Man, really, idea from my older brother. He definitely put the bug in my ear. Like I said, I've always been real sports heavy in this family, as you know.
For
Just real
sure.
sports deep. So that's all we do is talk sports, and a lot of people in the sports world that I come up with respect a lot of my sports knowledge. So yeah, it's kind of came up with the idea. Me and my bro kind of collabed on the name, came with the name, and then started off in my camper, man, and that's where the Camper Chronicle Productions come from.
Yeah.
Because literally started in my camper, man, and just had a little computer in my phone, and now got a little bit of motion, and now I'll be doing a little bit better. So yeah, man,
No,
I ain't
1,000.
complaining at all.
So I know Big Bro is I know he a diehard fucking Cowboys fan to the depth of him. You know what I mean?
Woo, yeah, on the max
Uh
level.
what what are who's your team though?
I'm a Titan fan, Tennessee Titan fan. Our whole family is kind of all over the place.
Right.
Yeah, my mom a Packer fan, got a little brother that's a Chief fan, a brother that's a Falcon fan. So we kind of all over. We all kind of just got our own team for however we got them. Like I became a Titan fan because I used to kind of when I was growing up root for whoever my big bro rooted for. So I kind of like
Right.
the Cowboys. So
Of course.
Dion, one of my favorite DBs all time. So like that's kind of how that started. That's how I got my love of Florida State, all because of Dion. So that was kind of like my tie to the Cowboys.
Right. Right.
And then kind of wanted to make my own thing because they was already raw. Like, I felt like
No.
a bandwagoner of a good team. So I told myself, like, hey, I'm gonna pick a team that ain't good yet, and I'm gonna make that my team. And one of my favorite colors is blue. And then the Titans had just drafted McNair, and Eddie George and those cats. So I'm like, all right, these black quarterback, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right,
Right.
I'm finna jump on this. They just moved over from Houston to Tennessee.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this is like a brand new team. I'm
That's
like,
what's up.
bam. So I'm gonna jump on there. So I kind of been a fan since then. And I've been there through the ups and downs. So like most people that know me, they
Yeah.
always ask that story how I even come to that. So
I
that's
know.
how I am
Listen,
for most of my sports teams.
listen. I for sure have to because I seen you. I seen you was talking shit or whatever, and talking about the Titans. I'm like, cuz the Titans. I'm like, hi, cuz a Titans fan. Listen,
Hmm.
listen, I know it's diehard. So listen, I know in the family, it's diehard fans on. You know what I'm saying, and they stand firm on what they believe.
Uh-huh.
Who did? Do you feel? Do you feel George get the respect that he deserved when they talking about running backs?
Um, I think so. I think I think he definitely. more respect. A lot of players like Eddie George, you get more respect after you retire. During the league, it was a lot of good running backs. That was the era of the running backs. That's when the running backs was getting top dollar. That's when they was getting paid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The big bucks. So,
Right.
yeah, no, definitely was underrated. I think now, he get a lot of love. He talked about as one of the better backs, definitely one of the better Titan backs. Obviously, Derrick Henry, what I'm saying, gonna definitely try to stay this claim in that. But yeah,
Right.
I think Eddie George get a little bit of love now. And then doing the coaching thing over there
Right.
at the HBCU level. So I think he get his
Absolutely.
love. He
Absolutely.
getting his flowers.
If you was a head coach of the Titans, you got George in his prime, you got Henry in his prime. Who you taking? Who's starting?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
man, I might say recency bias, man, but I'll probably go Derrick Henry. Derrick
Okay.
Henry, man. It could be it could be the era, but I don't know, man. Derrick Henry was definitely a beast, man. He is still a beast
Right.
right now.
Right.
So yeah, I think I started with Derrick. I'll let Eddie George come off the bench, man. But it'll be a nice little. That ain't even no slash and dash. That's just pound and pound, man. We just gonna that'll be rough.
Period. Okay.
Good problem to have though. Good problem to have
That's a great problem to have. You know what I'm saying? The depth on the team
for
is
sure.
amazing. That
Hmm.
you can't go without that. Since we talking about running backs, do you remember, and you are from Oakland, do you remember when the Seahawks when they was I want to say it was like on the 4-3 or something, and they didn't give the ball to Marshawn?
Can't never forget that. I don't think the world gonna forget that.
Oh man. As a coach and as an ex-player, would you have made that call, or would you have gave it to your franchise running back?
You got to do what got you there, man. They ran the ball to play before that. Marshawn got team. But hearsay is whatever. Marshawn had already came out and stated his claim on what happened. But I definitely, as a coach, you gotta do what got you there. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, because
Yeah, that's free money, man. You can't pass up on that.
when he did that shit, I was screaming at the TV like, "What the fuck is you doing, man? Get the
Nah, for
fucking
real,
ball to
for real.
Marshawn!" Like it was
What
a
he
no
there
brainer
for,
for
man?
me in the history of sports because they have never like that's like having one shot and it's Jordan on your team or Kobe on your team and they don't take the shot because that's
Yeah, nah,
crazy to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know what I
You go
mean?
out there and pass it to somebody else. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When listen, when you were playing, who was the who was one of your toughest matchups when you was playing for Castlemont?
When we was at the castle, man, it was different players, different years. So, definitely, I'll go to my
Okay.
senior year.
Yeah.
My senior year would have been Andre Island from Mac. He was a beast.
Uh-huh.
He was a beast. Jakari Murphy from Tech. He was nice too. That's
I've
still
been
get
trying.
people to this day.
Of course. Of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
Kari was a beast. Those are some of the better players for sure that I would say. With some elite dudes. A couple guys, a lot of guys from McClymonds for sure. No disrespect to Mac, they still the power to this day. So
Of course.
there's a lot of guys from McClymonds for sure. Skyline had Jordan Foley at the time. Foley was a beast
Yeah.
up there
Yeah.
for sure. So it was definitely some dogs out there in the OAL. Definitely.
If you could create a Mount Rushmore for Oakland high school sports, any era, who would be on that Mount Rushmore?
Man,
That's-
see
that's-
this gonna ruffle some
I,
feathers.
I,
Yeah,
I
for
think the
sure.
Mount Rushmore got four. Think
Got four people on there.
who would be on your Mount for high school Oakland football sports? Who would be on that Mount Rushmore for you?
All right, just for me.
Any era though, any era, whether you saw
Nah,
them play
yeah,
or
nah.
didn't.
I'm just gonna stick some, not just gonna stick some players on there, but I'm definitely I'm gonna put some dudes who like I seen play who was nice, and then those people that I didn't see play, but like heard great things about. So
Okay,
obviously I'm putting Marshawn on there, for sure.
for sure,
Um, one person that I played with and watched him play for 4 years, Chris Little out of Castlemont, he would be on there for sure.
for sure.
Um, that'd get tough. This where it get tough at. I would probably go, man. Whoo. Throwback, I'll probably go maybe Kenny O'Neal from Skyline.
Mm,
He was he was running track too, but like he was definitely unguardable at wide receiver out there. He was one of one for sure.
for surely.
I put him on there. Um, and then one of the guys I always hear about was man, I don't want to get his name wrong. I feel like I'm gonna say it wrong, but I feel like whoever know that guy played for Mac. I think his last name was Vital. He went to Mac. I think he played for like Mac and Fremont. I think it's like they was like brothers.
Mm,
But like my big bro talk about him. My head coach, Coach Ed, like a lot of they always talk big about him. It's two brothers. I don't
okay.
want to get their names wrong, but yeah, they was beasts too out of Oakland. Those are some of the but that'd be my Mount Rushmore right there. Two people I got to see play, and Marshawn and Chris Little is two dudes I've seen dominate on the OAL with my own eyes. And Kenny
So,
O'Neal and the brothers, I always hear stories about them to this day.
no, I understand that. I always hear Chris Little name. Best game you ever seen Chris Little play. That stick out in your mind. Best game where you like, because I've been to some of them games. There's a couple that stick out in my mind, but to you.
Man, it ain't even a game. It ain't even a game we won, man. It's a game we actually got smacked. But we played against Ignacio Valley. This was our senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And they smacked us 51-0, real. But Chris scored 3 times all by himself. They all got called back, bro. He ran back a kick. I want to say he ran back a punt. Then he chased the running back down who was killing us, stripped him, and ran it back for another touchdown. And that was his senior year. And again, before that, we already knew he was on his way. But that was that moment where I knew, like, oh yeah, this is really a special cat. Like,
Yeah.
it don't matter if we're down by 100 or up by 100. He was going to play at his level, and that's why he went on to go to Cal and get all those offers and things like that because
Right.
of plays like that.
Yeah.
And even in a you feel me fashion where we getting smacked, it was like he still was the best player on the field,
Hands down.
even in losses. So
Period.
he a beast.
You as a coach now, what advice would you tell Dana? So you right now, as a coach, what advice would you
Mm-hmm.
tell high school Dana playing football from a coach is talking to a player?
Don't run away from the weight room. And don't be afraid to be great because it take work.
Mm, mm. I
Those are
like
some of the things that I for sure know now that I wish I knew then. Or even
right.
if I did know, I kind of just didn't
Didn't
focus in on. But definitely the weight room for sure is something that will separate you from somebody, even if they might be a little bit more gifted than you. If you just in that weight room, that's gonna help you out a lot,
yeah,
for sure. And then knowing that just working out when it's football season ain't gonna get you where you want to go. You got to work out. You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? You got to put that work in. Even when everybody sleep, you got to be up putting that work in. So just don't be afraid of greatness because it really takes work to be great. Because if it wasn't, everybody would be great. So,
That's a fact.
sure.
What's something you instill in your kids now as a coach?
Uh,
Don't you coach at Bear Creek? Yes.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
BC,
okay.
man.
I,
We
I,
here.
I, just, I,
We
just, I,
here.
just, I just want to throw it out
We
there.
here.
Yeah, I just want
Yeah,
to throw it
yeah,
out
yeah. You
there.
know, shout out
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Bear
yeah,
Creek, man,
yeah,
for the
yeah.
opportunity.
For surely.
You know,
What's something that if I was talking to a kid, what's something that they say, man, Coach Woods always say this.
um, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself.
Mm, straight up. How y'all?
Yeah, I always tell them that because again, man, it's just like we all sometimes kids do the bare minimum because they can and they know it'll be just satisfying just enough for the coach. Like if I just do this, coach will be cool with this and I ain't got a trip. Knowing that they can do and give more. When in the end, you only really hurting yourself. When
Right,
the whole time that's what you're doing it for.
right,
You're not doing this for me. You out here playing ball because you want to get out. You want to make the next step. So don't do things to hurt yourself. Don't
right.
cheat yourself, treat yourself.
That's 100% true. Do you
Oh yeah.
feel do you feel this era has it harder than when you came up, or is it easier?
Man. I think they have their pluses and their minuses. I'll definitely say you gotta be more aware of who you're coaching in this era.
Okay.
Everybody can't be coached the same. I was talking to some coaches the other day, and we was basically saying, some coaches can be coached like Coach K. Some coaches need Coach K, where it's just coaching you up, telling you the X's and O's, and then
Right.
some coaches need Coach Bob Knight.
That's
Both are champions, but two different styles of coaches. But some people get that, some people don't. So
right.
knowing the players you coach now in this era, because back in the day, everybody get coached like this, and you either get with it or get lost.
That's a fact.
And I still have battles with that. But I know that like now I'm better now with a lot of experience. I've been coaching for a little bit now.
Yeah.
Now I'm a lot better with it. But definitely knowing who you're coaching, you gotta treat every player differently. We usually just clump everybody together. We all football players. Y'all get out here, let's play football. But now you gotta kind of build relationships, which is not a bad thing because now you get to know these kids on a better level. And at the end of the day, we want these guys to be men and women, great human beings. Outside of just the game of football.
That's a fact. I saw Brian Shaw on a Paul George podcast, and he was saying Phil would never tell Kobe no, but he will nitpick at every little thing that Shaq did because of just the upbringing. He didn't want to kill Kobe's confidence, and then Shaq comes from a military background, so he was just super on him. And it goes back to what you're saying. Like you just gotta you gotta kind of know, you gotta know these kids. You gotta know who you coaching. Everybody can't take you either get with it or get lost. I need more of them. Everybody's different. So I totally agree with you. It's kind of like being a parent. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know nothing about that, but I heard it's crazy.
When you
but
said
it's something
that,
like that.
When you said it, it immediately clicked for me. Being a parent, it was like absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody can't take. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just what it is.
Yeah. You gotta, like you said, it's kind of like parenting a little bit. Now that you're saying that, yeah, I get to know these kids on more than just the level of what they're doing for you.
Listen, absolutely. Best game that you remember coaching at Bear Creek?
Wait.
Go ahead.
Last year, no, for sure. Last year was my first year. And I was just I came on late, so it was kind of like I wanted to get in where I fit in. I really didn't care where I would have got in. I just wanted to get my foot in the door. So I was the DB coach for the JV team, and I was just like the assistant defensive coordinator because we had a DC, but the DC was on vacation. So he missed the first game, but he had told me this. So I actually got to call plays for the first time ever. So I had been coaching for 3 years, 4 years prior to getting on that Bear Creek. I had never called plays. So this is my first time actually getting to call plays. First game I ever called plays, I got to coach a shutout. So first game of the year, we won 28-0. It's my first time calling plays. I coached a shutout. So that would definitely be my best coaching moment of last year. But my best coaching moment ain't happened yet.
Okay, I like that. Can I ask who you guys were playing?
Luther Burbank High School. We play them again this year, so I know they're gonna definitely want to get back.
Okay, what y'all finished with last year? Y'all record?
Man, last year, for varsity finished 5-5, and then for JV, which I coached, we finished 6-4. We could have been better, but this is the first time Bear Creek had finished 500 in over 7, 8+ years. So for them to even get to 500, like we had parents and everybody ecstatic that we was doing this, and then me and the coaches having little conversations, and we upset because we wanted more. So, but we understand that we moving in the right direction. It was all our first year. We was all new coaches that kind of just came together.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? It was, yeah, like I was brought on through a friend. The head coach only brought on like 2 coaches. So it was like he just needed a coaching staff, and he just kind of brought a bunch of guys together. And for that to happen on like literally short notice, I thought we did all right for our first year. Now we got some chemistry. The players buy in because they seen a little bit of success, something that a lot of those players had never seen before. So it was that senior class that we got to coach this season had never won 5 games, and they were there for 4 years on no level. So for them to at least be able to finish 500, and we was a game away from actually being able to compete for a playoff spot, I thought was good for them and really inspiring to the next crop of class coming up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%. Let me ask you a question from a coach's standpoint. Do you feel coaches should be able to recruit like high school? Do you feel y'all should be able to recruit like college?
I'll say this. I think if a kid goes to another school, you shouldn't be able to talk to that kid and try to get him to leave the school to come to your school.
Okay.
But if a kid wants to leave to go to another school because that's their own choice, then yeah. But recruiting, like, yeah, man, we should be able to talk to eighth graders and Pop Warner and build relationships and things like that of that nature and try to get them to be early commits to our high
Yeah,
schools and things of that nature. To the best of our abilities, obviously not like paying these kids or anything. I don't think it needs to get to that far. But I definitely do think, what I'm saying, that to a certain extent we kind of do that. We host these camps. We host at Bear Creek. We host camps and things of that nature. We bring in the youth and we have
right.
our high school players run the camps, do the drills. It was a really good turnout last year. Again, spare the moment type thing. We're gonna do another one this year. So that helps out. Like that's kind of like a part of a recruiting tool.
For
To where
sure.
we're bringing in the youth from these other camps, come in, see how we operate. See our kids and watch us, watch how they work with y'all youth and inspire them. We actually got a couple kids to come to Bear Creek through that were freshmen last year who some played freshmen and some play JV just because of the experience. So it's definitely, I'm definitely for recruiting to a certain extent. Like I said, I don't think I should be bad mouthing the kid about the school he goes to, the big my school. Like,
Right.
I think my school should my school's name or whatever it's attached to it should speak for itself. I shouldn't have to down your school to big up mine to try to get you there. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Do you feel living because you know how they do it like where you stay, you got to go to this school.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel that? Do you feel that is that? Do you feel that's okay, or do you feel like nah, the kid should be able to choose? Like, I'm an athlete. If I want to go to Bear Creek, but I live in Tracy, whatever.
Right.
Should I be able to go to Bear Creek?
Um, I definitely think a crazy thing is over here a little bit. It's kind of like that. It's a little
Right.
bit more free over here, but like down in the Bay in OL like that, it's kind of what I'm saying,
Right.
based off where you live at. And I think they try to do that to keep the competitive balance.
Right.
But everybody always finds a way to find a loophole through all of that.
Right.
For sure.
For sure. Toughest matchup for y'all last season.
uh Edison High School.
Mm.
They're no longer in the league no more. They just got moved up to the bigger league because they were that good.
Mm.
Yeah, they dominated us again. They were just yeah, they're a better team. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind that saying that. You know what I'm saying? They were a good football team.
Right.
But again, I like playing against teams like that. Like we still do 7-on-7 with them now.
Right.
Because I like to compete against the best of the best just to see what we are. It's like, all right, we don't play against these guys, but that don't mean they're still right down the street. So we should still get work if they're offering it.
Oh,
You know
for
what I'm saying?
sure.
And we didn't scrimmage them in some 7-on-7 like 2 or 3 times so far. So I want to continue to do that. But yeah, last year they got on us.
Mm.
Both levels, JV and varsity. Freshman team as well. They nothing to play with. Again, they like a small like type of McClimates. Like I think they won this league that we're in. I think they won it like the last 7 years. So they just moved up to the A League. So now they're gonna play against the likes of Lincoln High School, St. Mary's High School.
Got you.
St. Mary's would be like the
To
the
top.
the big dog of this whole league. Like they
Abs-
beat De La Salle.
De La
They
Salle.
played De La Salle actually. You know what I'm saying? They played some De
Absolutely.
La Salles and Sierras and teams of that nature. So now Edison gonna play them every year. So I do want to see what that looks like though. I think that's gonna be fun.
Right. Do you feel California just football? Do you feel California get the respect that they deserve
Um
compared to Texas, Florida?
yeah and no. I'll say this though. I say yeah and no. In some sense, we don't as far as like the talent we have over here, compared to theirs. But I do also think that they prioritize football a little bit more
Mm,
down there. To
absolutely.
where when you're in it, it's more of a like, all right, this is what you're doing, you know?
Right. Right.
And you
Right.
know what I'm saying? When you in it, you locked in. So I will say that I think they just a little bit more focused and than our high schools, the way they just, run their programs.
Right.
And
Right.
that could just got something to do with just where we come from, you know what I'm saying, and how Californians are. But I definitely think in the South though, like they treat football just a lot different, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Of
But
course.
so
Of
that
course.
on that level, I think they're a little bit more honest than that. But as far as just like laying out talent, I do think we got some damn good talent over here in California.
Okay. Okay. Now that you're in the valley, do you is it a different outlook on the valley sports wise? Because I know coming from the Bay, you know, the Bay is always it was coming up, it was always the valley was looked down upon on like, oh, they can't, they from the valley, they can't fuck with us. is it a different outlook for you now that you're older, coaching, seeing it? Or is it still the same
Yeah,
where you like,
nah. I, I think it's a little different, and again, it's because, like you said, it's the gap in between where we are and where they
for
are.
sure?
But yeah, I do think again, in growing up, a lot of the teams we played out this way, we used to play a lot of the scrubs. Now growing up, seeing, you know what I'm saying, we played a lot of the scrubs out this way. So that's what I did notice.
Right.
Because again, there are some talented teams out this way who got some boys, and again, they got some players that's out and playing in the league and playing in college right now. And they still producing kids out here a lot. So I definitely do think it was just one of those. We from the Bay, they from the Valley, so it's like, growing up, it's the macho thing. But
For,
like you said, as a coach, you look at it, it's like, no, they got some boys out here.
for
But
sure.
just like everywhere, there's some weak teams and there's some raw teams. Pick the
That's
right one, and yeah, you'll meet your matchup. And
that's
like I
it.
said, Edison is one of those teams. Obviously, St. Mary's out here.
Oh,
Linden, again, Lincoln High School. A couple of
yep,
these teams made the playoffs last year. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
And went
yep.
to try to compete for state titles. So they got some squads down here.
Who actually took the state title last year? Cuz have you remember or recall?
Um, I'm not even sure, man. Once we be losing,
Off
kind
of
of,
it. Off
yeah,
of it. I
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
I
If
get it.
somebody that I know coaching and they team still going, then yeah, like I'll root for them. Like I know some coaches that coach at Mount Diablo. So
Right.
like when they was in the playoff hunt, they got the raw running back Herschel Turner. So like I
Right.
locked into them. My homie Dev, coach at Lincoln. So like I'd be locked into them while they was on their playoff run. Everybody kind of lost in the playoffs, but I'll be locked in on teams like that. Like, the Castle, obviously, all OAL. So when Mac make their run, I'm locked in because,
Of
that's
course.
that's our roots. So
Of course.
yeah. So usually if somebody that I know coaching, then yeah, I'll follow their school until, they can't go no more. I definitely like to see people that I know and I grew up with that's coaching now. I love to see them succeed. So yeah, I'm always rooting. I'll watch.
Favorite defense you like to run as a defensive coordinator?
Base defense, I like 3-4. You gotta have the right personnel for it. But hybrid, I like the 4-2-5. Also like the 3-3-5. But you gotta have the right players, right
Right.
mentality players to run with less linemen in the front. You gotta have some more different type of guys that can play two gap. But 3-4 and 4-2-5, 3-3-5. Those would be like my favorite.
Okay.
You can do a lot of different things out of those.
I'm happy you said you're a defensive coordinator. Do you feel defense from basketball, from football, do you feel defense get the credit that it deserves, or do you feel people only look at offense?
Um, offense sell tickets.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Offense
right,
sell tickets. So that's kind of why it's gonna always be like that. That's why they make the big bucks. But I do think I ain't gonna say we undervalue because you still need a defense. It ain't defense winning championships no more
right,
as much as it used to be, but you
right,
still need a defense to get to the championship. You're not just gonna be all offense. So I do think defense is still a priority. You know what I'm saying? I do think offenses are a lot more complex now, which is the evolution of football in the game in itself.
right.
But I definitely think defense is still respected because you still need it to get to the championship. You still got it. You still gonna need a defense to get you there to get you some stops. You're not gonna be able to win a shootout every game.
That's a fact. Do you feel social media helps or hinder the kids?
That goes back that goes to the kid, the individual player. Some of these kids born into social media can adapt, and then some of them it hurt them. You know what I'm saying? I just think
For
it
sure.
depends on the kid, depends on the player. Your household, how you was built, how you was raised, your morals. You know what I'm saying? I think it comes with things like that. Like, and that's certain things that as coaches we can help as they grow. Along with the parents. I do think it's a lot of divide between parents and coaches in the sports world. A lot of parents just send their kids to the practice and that's it. And it's like, we need you to instill some of the things that we're doing here at the house and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? The things you instill home, we can make sure we reinstill them out here. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I don't like, but I understand why parents punish their kids by taking them out of sports.
Mm,
It's like, nah, man, sports is the discipline. It helps y'all.
for
So like
sure.
when your kid messing up, don't don't take him out of football. Call the coach, tell him he tripping, and tell him he running all practice. You know what I'm saying? All right, mama, I got you. And I'm gonna do some extra on him. All he
Yeah.
gonna be able to do when he get home is do what you ask, do his homework, take a shower, and go to bed because he's gassed. And he's not gonna want to do that. So I do think we gotta we go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? That it take a village. Same sense in football.
Yep.
We
Yep.
want to see your kid do better as much as you do, especially with him out here. We got your kid for 4 or 5 hours out the day. We want to make sure he's well taken care of. So you help out, we help out.
That's a fact. I love the fact that you said that that we need y'all to instill some of that at home. The same way when you go into class. You know what I'm saying? When you go into class,
Yes,
the
sir.
teacher, she teaching, but at the same time, we need y'all to practice at home too. You know what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
think that's super
Exactly.
important. Like
Exactly.
I
It's like
100% agree
student
with you.
athlete. Student athlete. It's been that since the beginning of time. You can't be out there being an athlete if you ain't a good student first. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do grade checks every week. Our coach even went and did like exotic grade check where it ain't just what's my grade, am I failing, what can I do? Like he wrote down stuff like, hey, did he greet you this morning? Where does he sit in the class? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Does he ask questions? Like our coach, man, it's when you look at it as an adult, you're like, man, as a coach, I'm like, man, it's extra, but it's like he's trying to get the most out of this kid. I just want to know what you're doing in here.
that's a
Are you
fact.
just in here doing the bare minimum, or are you in here trying to be a better student and help
Yeah.
out everybody? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So at first when I looked at it, I was like this. And then when you read it, it's like, now he just want to see what you're doing in class. You doing the bare minimum, or are you trying to do more? Because again, if you want to be great, you know what I'm saying? You got to do more.
That's a
Don't
fact.
be scared to be great.
No,
That's
don't be
in that
scared.
classroom too.
Just period, man. Don't be afraid to be great. I saw Cam Newton and Shannon Sharp having this conversation, and I want to know your opinion on it. Do you feel it's about is it more important for championships or is it more important impact as far as a player? Championships are impact.
Man, what you play the game for?
Man,
What you
God, I
play the
mean,
game for?
you play it for
As a basketball
championships.
player, what? Come on, man.
You play it for
Come
shit.
on, man.
You
Hey,
play
and
it
if
for
you make a
shit.
big enough, hey, you make a big enough impact, we're gonna win some championships. Your impact ain't that big if we ain't win no championship. You might
That's
have had some impact, but it wasn't that big if we ain't win no ship.
that's
I
you.
think championships matter more, but I do think impact is a thing. Like you can have impact on the team, change the culture of a team, shift the tide of a team. Yeah, like nah, for sure.
What?
But yeah, I still want a championship for
Okay.
sure.
Listen,
That's
I
what I
hundred
play
percent,
for.
I 100% agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you when you put it like that. Absolutely. Because they mentioned somebody like AI never got a championship, but its impact on the culture is
Yeah, we
huge.
never gonna forget AI. Nobody gonna ever badmouth AI.
Never.
But you know what I'm saying?
No, but
I take the I wouldn't mind being Dwayne Wade though. Like, come on now.
absolutely. Listen,
Dwayne Wade, not, like he wanted to, you feel me? Like he
no,
up there. He one of the
he
better guards all
he won
time, but like you feel me?
for sure, for sure.
AI for the culture,
For
tattoos,
sure, of
braids. That you feel me?
course,
Get your hair braided on the sideline, the whole nine. Like he
a
gonna
whole
forever
none.
be cemented. You know what I'm saying? As a legend for the culture.
No, what? Listen,
For
1,000.
sure.
I got. Listen, we got literally 6 more minutes, right? I want to
Come
ask
on,
you.
man.
I want to ask you a couple questions. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to know your opinion.
Come
Who
on.
you,
We
who you
here.
who you taking? Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick?
Hmm. Um, the tricky question, but I'm gonna say Lamar Jackson just because of he played in the era where they're gonna build an offense around him.
Okay.
But if Vic played in this era,
No,
man,
Vic in this era right now. Vic walking
I
the
think I might
field.
take Mike Vick. I think I
Okay.
might take Mike Vick. I think I
Okay.
might take Mike Vick. I might take Mike Vick. We could do that because I could build an offense around Mike Vick. Yeah, Mike Vick can be something
Who's the
different.
No, listen, I totally agree with you. I think Vic. I think I like Vic. I think Vic a little more. The accuracy is a bit more there for me because they
That
both can
left was
run.
dangerous. Yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I
They
mean?
both can that.
They both could get up out of there, but I think Vic a little more accurate for
Vic,
me.
Vic slang that iron. Yeah, Vic
He
slang that
slang that
iron.
motherfucker, bro.
Facts.
Randy Moss or Jerry Rice?
Terrell Owens
Terrell Owens. Really?
over both of them.
Let me ask you this: as a
Jerry the GOAT though, but my
Jerry,
Terrell Owens. Terrell's
Ter-
my favorite football player of all time.
okay.
Offense, defense, special teams. Terrell Owens, 101.
So listen. I'm watching the
Come
shit
on.
was surreal, bro. I was at work one day. We watching the Niners, and I'm watching the game. It's just me and T.O. watching the game. Literally. Just it's me and T.O. just watching the game, bro. I'm just like, damn, it's crazy. Cause I remember when T.O. got that, yeah, you about to be when he caught it on the Packers and he got that hit, and
Got
it was
boot by,
like,
yeah.
the passion of the torch, like you about to be the man, man.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say that, I'm
Yeah.
like, do you feel
Yeah,
T.O. get
man.
his do you feel he get his credit?
Yeah, no, he get it a lot though now. Like I said, but T.O. was that dude, but they didn't like him because he was a free spirit. He spoke his mind, and he was like, I feel like as long as I go out there and do my job, y'all shouldn't trip off what I say or how I act. Like when I'm on that field, y'all gonna get one of the best wide receivers, what I'm saying, in the league in and out. So don't trip off, what I'm saying, how I operate. But people like to combine the two. It's like, nah, I'm a football player and I'm still Terrell Owens, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they couldn't separate the two. So they didn't like him as a football player because they didn't like him as a person. But you can't mix business and pleasure, right?
No, hell
You know what
no.
I'm saying? On
Who?
that field, yeah, T.O.
Okay. All right. I take T.O. Say no more. Cause I fuck with T.O. Who who is the better two sport athlete? Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders?
Oh man, I'm gonna give it to Bo, but prime is prime for sure. But it's Bo though. Bo
Okay.
knows.
All right.
Bo knows. Bo knows basketball. Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows everything. I can't. Yeah, that's Bo. Bo knows. You are like I said, Dion, my defensive idol. He's my guru, but Bo knows.
Say no more.
Bo knows.
Dream team or redeem team?
Redeem team.
You
Give
taking
me
the most
Brian and Kobe. Give me
Brian?
Brian and Kobe, man. We're gonna go. We're gonna go tear it down.
Okay. Who's the GOAT? LeBron, Jordan, or Kobe? Or you might have another GOAT. I don't know. Who's the GOAT
Nah,
though?
nah, for real. I think, all honesty, I think Michael Jordan had the best career. Like
Yeah.
when you look at it. But I think LeBron James is a better basketball player. I think has better talent. He's a more talented basketball player. But I think
Okay.
Jordan got the accolades in the career. The way his career went wasn't a lot of down. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
yeah, I think you just telling me who I want. If you just say, do I want this build or this build, I want LeBron James every time.
Okay.
But if you're telling me who career, I take MJ's 6 for 6, undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Take that.
Is
You know what
Kobe
I'm
not
saying?
is Kobe not even in the talks for you?
I think Kobe. I think Kobe. For sure, he up there. I don't think he. I don't think he the goat though. That's my personal opinion. But
Ooh.
uh, you know,
Ooh.
I might. Yeah, no, we ain't gonna. Yeah,
Listen,
Kobe though. God bless the mama, man.
listen,
For
God bless
sure.
the Mamba. Say no more. I ain't even gonna get at you like that, cuz.
Yeah,
Listen, say no more.
yeah, this a Brian and Jordan thing, man.
Okay.
Everybody else kind of just watching.
All right. Say no more. Okay. You need
That
one.
ain't no respect. That ain't no knock to Kareem, but like that's before me. That's before everybody time.
Okay. You
Yeah, this is a Brown and Jordan dance. It's just two people dancing, man. At this point, 2 man
listen.
dance right now.
You need one shot. You need a 3-point to tie the game. You got these players all in a prime. Bird, Steph,
Yep,
Ray Allen, and Miller. Who takes the shot?
Curry take it every time,
Curry?
and Curry taking it every time, man.
Okay.
Man, and that ain't look at the great shooters, bunch of great dudes. Curry taking that shot
I
ten
ain't
times out of 10.
I ain't gonna argue with you. Ain't even debatable. Listen,
Yeah,
cuz.
I argue with my homie that Curry should have been the first pick in the draft over Blake Griffin. You
Oh,
know,
for
yeah,
sure.
but that's another story for another time, man.
Listen, that's not even listen. The Warriors fans were so mad when Monte they got rid of Monte, and I'm like, nah, this is listen, you guys got top tier. You guys don't even know it.
Yeah,
But listen,
yeah.
that's another story. Listen, cuz
Hmm.
time is literally about to run out. Can you get a people your
Hmm.
podcast one more time so they can check your podcast out?
The Bringing the Wood podcast. It's on all platforms, all streaming platforms where you can stream podcasts at. The Bringing the Wood podcast, man. It's myself, D Wood, my co-host Big Chase. Sometimes I'm solo, sometimes I have on guests. So yeah, man, go out and like, subscribe, share it. And like I said, hit me up on my social medias, man. My Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Tap it up. You ever want to be on the show, tap in. It's always good. I'm always trying to have guests on. So thanks again for this opportunity, because we're gonna have to do this